Hello, I am Mercy Ojolade. I'm one of the tutors from the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. Thinking about employability and the landscape at the Conservatoire, we are one of many drama schools in the UK. We accept something like 24 students every year. We audition maybe up to 2,000 students for those places. It's a highly competitive process, and that means for us that we have a responsibility to make sure that the training we provide is as thorough, detailed, creative, imaginative as possible, thinking about the destinations of the students who become professional actors. The issue in the UK is such that we do not have a particular pathway like some of our European counterparts. It's highly competitive to get in, and it's highly competitive to get out and to work as well. So we take that responsibility that the least that we could do is to make sure that we prepare our students so that they are ready for the world of work, despite the fact that there aren't guaranteed pathways or routes into work. And we have lots of different things that we do in the training where we try to prepare our students, obviously not just in acting and voice and movement and how they all combine together for them as artists, but also how they think of themselves as business, as somebody who is responsible for their own taxes, finance, and really just their own well-being to sustain their lives as artists. We are very fortunate that we have a number of alumni, lots of actors who are working, whether that's in theatre, television, film, radio, across lots of different areas of performance landscape. And that helps us because lots of students who are applying to the drama school, they see that the list of alumni, they see those actors who are doing really well. We can't promise anything, but we can certainly make space for and give a platform for our students who come to Glasgow. One thing that's worth mentioning is the fact that in Glasgow, we are in a city which is extremely cultural, really rich in terms of its cultural offerings, but we are not in London. And traditionally, London is seen within the UK, of course, as the capital, but also as the hub, as the main focus point for professional acting and performance work. And that means that for our students thinking about employment, if their destination is London, we realise that we're not necessarily placed geographically, physically, in a place where maybe many students want to come. And we accept that and we understand that. On the other hand, we are really lucky because in Glasgow we have a really long history and tradition of work. As a result, it is a wonderful destination for our graduates and for our students, because if they are inclined to make work or to be part of an ensemble where people are devising or creating work, Glasgow is actually the place to be. We are really lucky that when students want to work, they don't have to worry about the pressures of being in London, being seen. Glasgow is a bit smaller, but it has a really healthy community. We often find that our actors who train and who graduate, they might go and start their own companies, they might start writing, they might start directing. And this is all through having the degree in acting. When thinking about employability for our students, we think about this from the very beginning of the training through to the very end of the training. And we provide lots of different opportunities for students to engage with external professionals, sometimes in very formal capacities and sometimes in very informal capacities. Students arrive in the first year and they will do one of our modules, which is called Critical and Reflective Practice. And within that, they will just start to be exposed to the world of work on their doorstep. Who are the producing theatres in Glasgow and beyond, whether it's within Europe or internationally. And also thinking about the different careers that actors might have or might pursue once they have trained. So we really try to encourage them to start thinking about themselves as artists and how they might work from the very beginning. Also in the first year, they have external directors to work with them on text projects. And that's a really great opportunity for our students to really understand how an external might work with them, how they might work with an external. It's also a really good networking opportunity, enabling our students to work with directors who may well come back and say, can I work with this person in a professional capacity? Also in the second year, the students have their new work module, And within there, they have further networking opportunities. They all have a mentor who would be a professional writer or practitioner. And for those students who are really inclined or who find their voice with writing, they have been introduced to somebody who is already doing that as a profession. Something else that happens in the second year is our students start a module called professional practice. This continues from the second year into the third year. And it is a brilliant resource where students work with a designated tutor who really introduces them to the industry. So they start to meet casting directors, they start to meet directors, they start to think about how do they market themselves, their CVs, their headshots. Professional practice continues into the third year. For many students, this is an opportunity where they start to really apply, thinking about getting an agent, securing work in a professional capacity. And they are really prepared for that, and that is obviously encouraged as much as possible. So the focus really is thinking about employability, particularly because we know that there isn't one path towards it. We've been really fortunate this year. We have secured, or I think about 95% of our students have secured an agent after their showcase or before they graduate. This is a really, really high number, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee work, and we continue to remind our students of this because, yes, that they might get an agent, and that doesn't mean that from then onwards they are going to be a Hollywood star. We have some really good relations with some brilliant theatre companies based in Glasgow, many of whom, or some of whom, do internships programmes for actors across Scotland, and that's something that lots of our students have benefited from. It is not uncommon at the Conservatoire for students to graduate, maybe go and work, and then find ways to come back. The whole staff team on the BA Acting programme are professionals in their own right and in their own expertise, and we have a student charter and a staff charter. And within that, one of the clauses is, as staff, we will use our professional networks where we can to really maximise opportunities for the students that we work with. And that might be recommending students to potential employees.